Hi, I'm Darren, and this is my story. I grew up in a small town in the Central Valley, a hometown with two traffic lights. I was raised in a Christian home. My mom took us to church every Sunday. I accepted Christ at the age of 4, and I had been used to being around a Christian environment during my early years. When I was 7, my mom and my dad divorced, and when my mom and dad divorced, I feel like my idea of trust and what I felt about trust had been shattered. I wasn't sure who I could look to for trust and guidance, and I didn't know where I could find that assurance. I looked to my mom, and I saw how my mom relied on God through the entire situation initially, and through my mother's strength and through my mother's reliance on God, I relied on that strength rather than my own personal strength with God. So for a while, I relied on that until I hit about middle school when I started developing relationships with other people. I began meeting friends through church and school, and I developed those relationships and began investing in those and finding some sense of satisfaction, finding kindness and love and laughter and joy. And all those things made me feel good. And because of that, I began investing more in friendships rather than in my relationship with Christ. And because of that, I put all my faith in people and what people did and how people acted. My freshman year in high school came, and my best friend and I had a really big fight. And through that fight, ultimately, my trust in people was shattered, and God made me question where I was putting my faith and where I was putting my trust and where I was seeking satisfaction. So throughout high school, I went back and forth, kind of trying to figure out where I could find that ultimate satisfaction. And I would switch off between God and friendships, but ultimately, God was on the back burner in my life. Freshman year, God radically shook my life by bringing me to UCLA. I left the small town stereotype, coming to the overwhelming environment of Los Angeles. And I felt like I couldn't find friendships. I felt really alone. And for the first 2 quarters here, I went home a lot to find that temporary satisfaction. It wasn't until through Campus Crusade we did something called Man Maker. It was a retreat that really told me that it was possible to deepen my relationship with God and maintain good friendships as well that I could invest in. And through Man Maker, I was just able to invest in God and find godliness in my relationship with Christ. And ultimately, I realized that there was no deeper love or satisfaction or joy than in a relationship with Christ and working towards that relationship with Christ. Since then, I've been able to just pray to God at any time and talk to him as if he was my best friend, even if he isn't a tangible person. That was my story. What's yours?